Hey guys, welcome back. It's your friend Gare with another video for you today. This time I'm just doing a couple video responses for a couple guys that tagged me here recently. The Loch Ness Monster and Corey Zamier. I got tagged twice, like I said, so I'm just going to go ahead and do both sets of questions just to knock it out in one video. Thank you guys for tagging me because I really enjoy doing these kind of things. I mean, first of all, I really enjoy watching, you know, other YouTubers that I watch on a regular basis do these because it's really interesting to hear, I don't know, I guess a more personal side of their lives, because not always does that kind of information come out. And some of these questions, you know, sometimes you're kind of surprised by what they say and come up with. So I really enjoy watching these, and, you know, I enjoy doing these as well. I'm just a really boring person, so it's really hard for me to answer these sometimes, and, you know, I'm probably just going to bore everybody to death with these, but that's alright. So the first set of questions here, this is from the Loch Ness Monster. Really, really nice guy, another Canadian. I don't know what it is. This must be the way you guys are raised or something in the water up there. You guys are all super nice, man. I enjoy talking to every one of you guys, and he's certainly no exception. So definitely check his channel out. He's a really good guy. He's got a really good presence on the camera, and he's got a really good collection too. So I really enjoy talking to him, watching his videos. So if you've not checked him out, definitely please go check his channel out. Give him a subscribe if you like what you see. So the questions he had, there was only 4 here, and I'm just going to kind of do these on the fly. So, like I said, they might not be very exciting, but we'll kind of get through it. So the first one here is, if you were to be buried alive, what system would you take with you? And I'm going to kind of do what he did, because this is the first thought I had, and cheat a little bit. If I were to cheat a little bit, I would take my PSP with me, just because mine is hacked, so, you know, I've got just a plethora of PSP games that I can play on the fly. Not only that, but you can also play homebrew games on there, and you can do emulators. So, I mean, I've got a Super Nintendo on there, Nintendo, N64, Sega Genesis, so I would be set. So, like I said, that's kind of cheating, but if I were to choose a system that, you know, I weren't cheating with, and I couldn't hack and do anything like that, if it had to be an actual system, that's really hard. I would probably have to say, probably the Super Nintendo. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and take his answer because that's just, I think, my all-time favorite system. So, there's that one. The next one here is, do you struggle buying games? And this question, you know, he kind of said this as well. It can be interpreted a few different ways. So, I guess I'll kind of run through all those. If by struggling buying games, you mean financially, I mean, yes and no. I set aside so much money every month to buy video games, and, you know, just like all you other guys, whatever I get doubles of, I sell. That way I can recoup some of my money and have more money to spend on this kind of thing. So, I do a little bit, you know, I'm in nursing school, so, I mean, we're kind of just strapped for cash as it is. So it just really depends on the month, what's going on, if it's a birthday month, if it's holidays, it really varies, but I'd say typically yes. And I'm sure most of you guys probably find that hard to believe because of the insane amount of things that I show on here. I'm just really, really, what's the word, disciplined, I guess, with how much I spend on certain items. I'm very strict about, like, certain criteria it has to meet, and also, like I said, you know, with selling things, how much I have left over, and yada yada. So there's that. And then if you were to interpret it as, like, do I have a problem with addiction, like I can't control myself, there are times where I go through little bits where I spend a lot more than I should, and I buy a lot more than I should. I think it has something to do with maybe with my OCD/depression or something like that. I don't know. I don't think I'm bipolar by any means, but I do go through phases where, like, I cannot control myself. I'm just buying shit left and right, and sometimes it is a struggle. But, you know, if I see something for a really good deal, and I just can't pass it up, especially if I have the means to do so. So, you know, it just really depends. Or if the last one I'll do here, I know I'm just harping on this too long. Do I struggle in the means that, you know, it's hard for me to find stuff? Absolutely not, because as he was saying, I'm really fortunate. You know, here in the US, like he said, we're pretty much tripping over video games. There are times where I complain that I can't find anything, but compared to other places like Canada, you know, the UK, Australia, I am very fortunate. You know, I find this stuff very much more often than other people are able to, and for a lot better prices. Not only that, but eBay, you know, that's, as you guys know, that's where I find a majority of my things. So, absolutely not. I'm very fortunate in that I've got a pretty good amount of options to pick this stuff up. And the next question is, do you regret selling any game or system? This one, I mean, I have a lot of regrets because as a kid, I was kind of a jackass. I did some really stupid shit as a kid. There's a couple off the top of my head I can think of. The first one, when I was like 13 or 14, right after I got my first PlayStation 1, I also had a Nintendo 64 with, you know, all the heavy hitter games like Super Mario 64, Mario Kart, Ocarina of Time, Star Wars, like a whole bunch of really good games. And I had a friend who had a huge collection of CDs, which, as you guys know, back in the, you know, late 90s, early 2000s, CDs were like, you know, that was your Jimmy Jam. You know, we didn't have, what was it, Napster back then, and ways to download music. So he had a lot of really good ones like Korn and Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, all this stuff, all that kind of music I was into. And I ended up trading my Nintendo 64 and all my games for like a huge stack of CDs. Some of them were good, some of them were complete crap. I think there was some NSYNC in there, some Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears. It's really embarrassing. I wish I still had those CDs or a list of what they were, because, oh god, it's embarrassing. So that was a really bad one. And then the other one was, I've told the story before, but when I was, right after I got out of high school, my brother moved in with me and my grandparents, and he really wanted a PlayStation 2. I was getting ready to move out to go to college, and I was not going to give him mine. So I sold off my entire PlayStation 1 collection, which consists of some really, really great RPGs. I mean, there was probably like 20 to 30 RPGs just on its own that are worth, you know, $40, $50 plus now. And then, you know, there was like Metal Gear Solid, Siphon Filter, the whole series. I can't think of the rest off the top of my head, but just a very, very nice collection that I've had to work my ass off and pay out the ass to recollect. And I think I sold it for pocket change, like maybe $50 for that whole set. So that one really, really hurt. I think I regret that one the most. But yeah, you know, at the time it seemed like a good idea. I was trying to be a good brother. And the last question here from him is, if there was a game that you could choose to play again for the very first time, what would it be and why? And this one, I don't know why. I'm really struggling with this one, because I've heard other guys, you know, give their answers to it, and they seem like they came up with it really easy. But I don't know. That's really hard. If I had to choose one, it would probably be Final Fantasy VII, just because it's one of my all-time favorite games, and the first time I played it, I was like 14 years old in 8th grade, and I remember just being completely blown away by the gameplay, the characters, the story, the graphics, everything. Like, everything just completely blew me away. And that was at a time where, you know, I was still kind of maturing, so there was a lot of things about that story that I didn't quite grasp. So if I were to play it again now for the very first time, I think there's a lot of things that I would pick up on and understand a little bit better, and it would probably blow me away a lot more than it did back then. So that would probably have to be my number one choice. If I had to pick another one, it'd be Link to the Past, just because that game's freaking awesome. I would love to play through it for the first time as an adult, for the same reasons. So those are my answers for that. And I was struggling between, you know, doing a set of people for his questions and then a set for Corey's. So I think at the end, I'm just going to pick like 4 or 5 people just to let them choose. So anyway, we're going to move on to the next set of questions here. And again, this is from Corey Zamier. Again, a really great guy. He's actually here in the U.S. He does really good videos as well. I actually just won his 700 subscriber contest where I got the NES top loader, which I did get. Corey, I can't remember if I told you if I did get it, but I did. Thank you so much, dude. It's in amazing shape. I'm so grateful to get that from you. If you guys have not heard of Corey or checked out his channel, again, please do so. He's a really great guy. Really great live pickup videos. So check him out for sure. And his was the 5 things you didn't know about me. Now, this is the one I really struggled with because, like I said, I'm just a very boring person, and there's just nothing exciting about me. And a lot of the stuff, you know, I'm pretty open with you guys, so you guys probably know most of everything about me. So I'm just trying to come up with some things to throw out there that you may not know. And so, depending on how long you've been watching my videos, you may know these already. I guess the first one is, I am ex-military. I was in the Army for a few years, and I was medically discharged because I was injured. So, I mean, again, some of you guys probably know that, some of you may not. And I'm always apprehensive about putting that out there just because this whole crazy ISIS bullshit situation. So there's that. I lost my virginity at 14 years of age. I don't know if that's interesting or not. Some of you guys may have lost it at 10, some maybe 20, I don't know. I live in a small town. Not much to do in small towns except for drink and, you know, have sex. So that's what we did. I did it at 14. It was fun. It was a good time. I didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of flopped around like a fish. Good time. Let's see. I have a really guilty pleasure of mine. One of my favorite movies I love to watch is The Ugly Truth. It's a romantic comedy, and typically I hate those kind of movies. I can't stand them, but it's actually pretty funny. It's got Gerard Butler in it. So I got kind of a man crush on the guy. Not only is he's got just a kick-ass accent from Scotland, but he's just a rugged kind of man. Yeah, I like me some Gerard Butler. But it's a really good movie. It's really funny. It's really raunchy, so that's why I like it. I haven't watched it in a while, but I used to watch it quite often. Let's see. Speaking of man crushes, there is an actor named Scott Adkins. Some of you guys may have heard of him. He does a lot of kind of Jean-Claude Van Damme martial arts movies. He was in The Expendables 2. He was the French guy with the goatee. He was in Undisputed 2 and 3. He's been in a lot of good movies. He's a hell of a martial artist. He does the craziest shit, and he's got probably one of the best physiques I've ever seen. I mean, if you guys get a chance, check him out. He's just a complete badass. Yeah, huge man crush on this guy. He's my new Jean-Claude Van Damme. He kind of took over for him for me. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just throw out a couple more. I know it's supposed to be 5, but most of you guys probably do know this, but I am in nursing school right now to get my BSN. So, like I said, that's not too exciting. Most of you probably knew that already, but I'm really excited about it. I'm almost finished. I will get my degree. I graduate in May, and then I'll finish up in July, and then hopefully have my license in August. So that's another exciting thing for me. Another thing, and you guys, again, if you guys have watched my videos for a while, you know this. Let's see. Gotta turn the computer. I have always kind of been a loner, like, ever since I was a kid. I've just always been really socially awkward. I've always had a really hard time making friends. Corey kind of made this point, too. He said that he didn't really talk to many people in high school. And I've always basically been the same way, like, elementary school, high school, even now. I don't know. I just don't click well with many people in person. I'm just really introverted, quiet, socially awkward, whatever, you name it. So, yeah, it's kind of sad, but you just get used to it, I guess, after a while. You know, that's 6. I think that's plenty. I'm sure you guys are sick of hearing about me. So, yeah, those are those questions. And again, thank you guys for tagging me in this. I do appreciate you guys thinking of me to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and tag some people. I wrote down 5. It was just some people I could think of. And you guys don't have to do both of these. If you guys just want to pick one and do one, that's fine. If you feel like you want to do both sets of questions, that would be awesome. I'd love to hear you guys do all these, but please don't feel obligated to do so. And if you've been tagged on these before, I apologize. I was just trying to pick some people that I've not seen do this off the top of my head. So first up, I'm going to do Jolene Gibson. She's got a new channel. She's a really funny girl. She kind of reminds me of my daughter because she's just a really big goofball. She's got the red hair. I think that's why I enjoy watching it. And there's just not a whole lot of girls out there that do these kind of videos. So it's kind of a breath of fresh air to see a female doing this. So if you would, definitely feel free to do one of these. CJR, I would like to see you do one of these too. I don't know if you have been tagged on these before. I'm sure you have. But yeah, CJR, if you could do one, that'd be really awesome as well. I really enjoy CJR. Like, again, if you guys have been watching me for a while, he's the reason I started doing these videos. So anytime, he talks about personal stuff, I'm always interested to hear. We're kind of similar, we have the family thing, we got kids and all that good stuff. So, next up would be DJ Deuce. He's a really, really cool guy. He's a big PS2 collector like I am, and he's way further ahead than I am. He's almost got a whole complete PS2 collection. But if you guys get a chance, check out his channel. He has got, honestly, God, it's kind of up in the air, but he's got a collection that would probably rival CJR, if not top his. It's like, seriously, check his channel out, watch his game room tour. It's freaking insane. Like, he's got a whole basement and like 3 rooms and an office or something like that, just full of video game stuff. I could not believe how much stuff he had. And on top of that, he's actually sold off his collection in the past, so he's had to restart it over. It's just insane. Really nice guy, though. I enjoy talking to him. So, DJ Deuce, if you would, man, definitely do that as well. Mr. Fantastic, again, he's kind of a growing channel. He's been around for a little bit, but he's still kind of growing as well. So, I'd love to hear this from you. Really nice guy. I enjoy talking to him as well. He's got an awesome collection. All these people do. And then the Gaming File. This is a guy who I've just kind of recently started talking to a little bit here and there. He's a good friend of Dave the NES guy, so any friend of his is definitely a friend of mine, and he's got a really, really awesome game room as well. And he just seems like an interesting guy, so I'd like to hear these as well. So, I've definitely dragged this video out longer than I expected, so my apologies. But all of you guys that I just tagged, I will definitely put your links in the description. Definitely check them out. I'd really, really appreciate it. Subscribe if you guys like what you see. And let me know when you guys do the video, if you could. In this video, just put a link to it so I can check it out. I'd really like to do that. So thank you again to the people who tagged me, and thank you for the people that watched this and actually stood through it. I appreciate it. But until then, I will see you in the next episode. Take care.